Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. Today's video is about Verpflichtungserklärung or the formal obligation letter. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please do it now so you get updates on my upcoming videos. Let's start today's video and see what is the content of today's video. We will be talking about what is Verpflichtungserklärung and what it is used for, how can you apply for it and where you can get this document, what are the documents and data that is required from host and visitor in order to get this Verpflichtungserklärung, and I will be sharing some important information to you that is important for you to know and understand about Verpflichtungserklärung. So let's start with what is Verpflichtungserklärung and what it is used for. It's a formal obligation letter that you can use to invite your parents, relatives, or friends. So if you are living in Germany, you can get this document so that your parents, relatives, or friend can apply visa on the basis of this Verpflichtungserklärung. It can also be used for the students. So the student who want to come to Germany for study purpose or for learning language, which can be German language, they are required to apply for a student visa if they are from non-EU countries. And one of the requirements of German student visa is to provide an evidence of having sufficient financial resources that students are able to bear all their living expenses during their stay in Germany. And the current options to provide this evidence is either through block bank account, in which the students have to deposit 10,236 euros. And the second option for this is to get this Verpflichtungserklärung. However, this has to be taken by someone here in Germany. And this Verpflichtungserklärung will be sent to the applicant in the home country, and he has to show this as a proof that someone is taking responsibility for sponsoring the student or the applicant. So it can be used for inviting parents, relatives, or it can be used to sponsor students. Now, the Verpflichtungserklärung or the formal obligation letter is issued by the Local Ausländerbehörde in Germany. And once you have received that document, it means that the host who has received the Verpflichtungserklärung is taking responsibility of certain things. And the first thing is that the host is taking responsibility to pay all kind of living cost of the visitor or the person he is inviting. Now this include all the accommodation cost and all the food cost for food, etc. The host is also responsible for the medical care or nursing care. If something happens to the visitor during his stay in Germany, then host will be responsible for the payment of all the medical care and nursing care. If there something happens that the visitor has to be removed from Germany and he has to be sent back to the country of origin by the German authorities, the host will be responsible for taking over all the removal cost for the removal procedures. So this can be very handy. So it has to be in your mind, so you know that what responsibility you are taking when you are getting Verpflichtungserklärung for someone else. Now we talk about how you can get it and where to get Verpflichtungserklärung. In order to get the Verpflichtungserklärung, you need to visit the Ausländerbehörde personally. And in some cities, it's important that you get an appointment. So it depends on your local Ausländerbehörde how they deal with you. Either you can visit personally without an appointment, and if appointment is required, please get an appointment. The host must be living in Germany and appear in person for the application, which means that you must be having a registered address in Germany, and you have to appear in person. You cannot send someone else on your behalf to get your Verpflichtungserklärung. Now, if you are a non-EU citizen, you must be holding any kind of residence permit, and there are certain types of residence permit through which it is possible to get the Verpflichtungserklärung. If you are holding a permanent residence permit, then you are eligible to get Verpflichtungserklärung for someone. If you are holding the temporary residence permit, then it's also possible for you to get the Verpflichtungserklärung. However, there is one condition related to it, and the condition is that the validity of your temporary residence permit must be exceeding the validity of formal obligation letter or the Verpflichtungserklärung, which means if you are getting the Verpflichtungserklärung in January, for example, and your visitor intends to visit you in March, and he or she intends to visit for 3 months, so he or she will be coming to Germany in March, and her or his stay will be for 3 months, which means March, April, and May. So your temporary residence permit must be valid until end of May, so that you can be issued this Verpflichtungserklärung. Now we talk about the required documents or data of host and visitor. First, we start with the host, and you as an applicant must be going to the Ausländerbehörde along with valid passport or ID. You must show the current proof of income, which can be done in different ways. If you are employed worker, if you are an employee, you must take 3 months of your salary slips, the previous 3 months of your salary slips. If you are a retired person, your pension statement will be required. If you are freelancing and or self-employed, your current tax certificate will be required. So these are the three things depending on your state. And if you want to that the visitor will be staying in your home, in your accommodation, in your apartment, then you have to present the contract of accommodation or Mietvertrag. This will be required also for the authorities to check whether you have enough space to accommodate your visitor. Currently, there are different regulations in different states of Germany. Some states like Berlin, if you have 9 square meter of space, then it is then one person can stay. It is mandatory that you must have 9 square meter space for each person. So if you have a 18 square meter apartment in Berlin, then and you are living alone in Berlin, then it's possible for you to apply for the Verpflichtungserklärung and get it. However, there are different states where 12 square meter of space is required for each person. So if you are living alone, let's say in Munich, and you want to invite someone, some single person, you must have at least 24 square meter space in your apartment so that you can be issued this Verpflichtungserklärung. Now you will be also requiring the personal data of your visitor, and this personal data is surname, first name, date and place of birth, nationality, address in the country of origin, and the passport number along with the expected date of arrival. So you must provide this information at the time of visiting the Ausländerbehörde. So if you do not know the expected arrival date, it's important that you first talk with the visitor and then visit the Ausländerbehörde so that you know what is the expected date of arrival. Now, there are some important matters that are important for you to understand and know. you will be given the Verpflichtungserklärung as an applicant, because you will be applying for this document. And once you have got this document, you have to send the original Verpflichtungserklärung to the visitor in the home country, so that he or she can apply for a visit or tourist visa on the basis of this Verpflichtungserklärung. So it's important that you send the original document to the visitor. The Verpflichtungserklärung document is only valid for 6 months if you intend to invite someone for a temporary visa. The next point you need to remember is the cost of Verpflichtungserklärung, which is 29 euros. And Verpflichtungserklärung, it does not have usually an application processing time. It is issued on spot, provided that all the documents and all the required data is available when you visit the Ausländerbehörde. So that's all that you need to understand and know before you apply for Verpflichtungserklärung or the formal obligation letter. I hope I will have answered all your questions. If you have still questions, you can put them in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe my channel so that you get updates on the next videos soon. Thank you for watching the video.